And it is time to talk money this Monday morning. Caleb Roebuck with me this morning. Caleb, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Aaron. I'm doing great.
Ashley Franco with it. So, Ashley, how about you? Did you enjoy the weekend?
I did. It was glorious outside. We spent time planting some flowers as well. And, yeah, it's been good.
Back to the basics, understanding different account types. Did you guys watch the Derby this weekend at all? The Kentucky Derby?
No, I did not watch any of it. No.
Okay. I was just curious. And, some of those horses, I'm just thinking investment. Is there some tax deferred? I think there was a horse called tax deferred, I think. Tax deferment. So that's a whole different world of investment type there, that's for sure. So
just a little bit more speculative.
Wow.
So.
There's a little speculation involved, that's for sure. But that's not what we're going to talk about today at all. So we are going to talk about some basic stuff, account types. So what does the account types, what do you use this for? Why does it matter? And if people are saving regularly. So Ashley, kick us off here, the account types, and then why does it matter to people?
Yeah, kind of just giving an overview. We're going to kind of go over non-retirement accounts, retirement accounts, which includes IRAs, ROTHs, 401ks, SEPs, and kind of explain the differences because there are different rules and regulations regarding each account on what you can and can't do.
And the account type does refer to, the tax classification. The IRS says it's either a retirement account, which has special rules like Ashley mentioned, or it's a non-retirement account. So we talk to folks about, it's not about the investment, but the type of account and the structure that holds that investment or what bucket it's in. A lot of people use that bucket strategy.
Taxes, contribution rules, all of these things, every different account has a different set of rules, right?
Yeah, and they change, and some people, and that's to the point, most people don't know that. And like what you see is you kind of, as you age, you tend to get a collection of them over time. You start working here, you got your workplace one. You start your own IRA at the bank, and then maybe you have an unqualified, then throw in your life insurance and all that other stuff too.
And then you change jobs and all of those sorts of things. So. Okay. Let's mention non-retirement accounts, and what are we referring to when we're talking about non-retirement accounts, Ashley?
Yeah, these are often referred to as taxable brokerage accounts. Kind of analogy to look at this. Non-retirement accounts are really similar to like your wallet. You can put stuff in, take it out right away. Versus like retirement accounts are more like a locked treasure chest. You can put the same thing in both the locked treasure chest and your wallet, but when you get it out, there's different stipulations. So in non-retirement accounts, more like your wallet, again, you can pull it out. So there's no age restrictions on withdrawals, or there's no contribution limits or minimums. We could put $100,000 in today and tomorrow turn around, pull it all out. Key thing here is there are taxes. It's kind of pay as you go.
Always with the taxes. There's always a tax implication.
There is. So the type of taxes you'll usually see in non-retirement accounts are capital gains and dividends. So capital gains is you put $100 in, it grows to $150, you cash out, and that $50 is going to be taxable to you at a capital gains rate. Capital gains rates are typically a little more tax advantaged than like just ordinary income. You worked at a job, they're usually taxed at a 0, 15, or a 20% tax bracket. The other thing you hear a lot about is dividends. I'm going to invest in a dividend strategy and I'm going to live off my dividends. Well, in a non-retirement account, dividends are then taxable to you as well. Even if you don't pull them out of your account and use them, they're still going to be taxable because they got paid to you. The non-retirement accounts can be really useful for long-term saving, investing, and business-related reserves because they're just simply more flexible. So that flexibility is more than retirement-specific options, though they don't offer any tax benefits like the other retirement accounts do. Key thing here is if you do have a non-retirement account, you're going to be really familiar. At the end of the year, you're going to get 1090. That's going to show you, hey, this is how much taxes you owe and how much you earned in the year.
Okay. Important point there. So that would be a non-retirement account that we're talking about there. Retirement accounts.
Yep.
Caleb, what are we talking about when we say retirement accounts?
And this is probably the one most people are familiar with. I would say this is the one most people like encounter first. Their retirement accounts, and that's their IRAs, their Roth IRAs, and those type of things. And those are designed, to help people save for retirement. Those are specific accounts that Congress, the IRS, set up that gives you specific tax advantages and tax deferral, either now or later, or potential some deductions now or later. But also they come with, limitations. Access to them is often limited till that 59.5 retirement date, where you can take distributions after 59.5 with no penalties. Before that, you're subject to that 10% pre-withdrawal penalty. So every retirement account or plan kind of has that.
And then they also have you hit a distribution phase.
Yes.
With these as well.
Yep, correct. For your IRAs, your pre-tax money, yes, you have that required minimum distribution age out there on the other end, where if it's pre-tax, they force you
want
to
their tax money. They want Uncle Sam wants his money, basically.
Yep.
So,
well, and if you think about it, that's why they have they incentivize you. That's why they set these up, is to incentivize Americans to save for retirement. So they have kind of a penalty if you take out too soon till you get to retirement. But then, based on some of the tax trade-offs that they give you, some of these accounts, your IRAs, can have you take money out later. And that's why we have other shows where we talk about Roth IRAs and some of that where we'll talk about too. But they all have those different rules, and that's why it is confusing and different. But most people kind of get into these type of accounts first because they generally stem from your employer or something like that, which we'll talk about.
Let's talk about some of those, by the way. So Ashley, Caleb alluded to the different types. So a traditional IRA. What's a traditional IRA?
Tax deferred. You don't pay any taxes until you take the money out. So the idea thing is, when you're putting money in, let's say you put $1,000 in, that $1,000 is tax deductible to you. So you get that tax benefit the year you put the money in. And then also, all the money grows inside that account tax deferred. So you don't pay a single dollar in tax until you withdraw the money. Flip side, when you withdraw the money out, it's all ordinary income. So these are really designed for long-term retirement savings. And like Caleb had mentioned, there is a 10% withdrawal penalty if you are under 59.5, unless you have a qualified reason. Think like first-time home, death, qualified educational expenses, disabilities, and medical expenses. One thing to kind of think about, kind of an analogy to put this is, traditional IRAs is you're paying taxes on your harvest. So you don't pay any taxes when you put the seed in the ground, but when you reap the benefits, it is all taxable to you. Flip side, and what Caleb's going to get into, is the Roth. You're paying taxes on the seed. So you initially pay taxes to never have to pay taxes again.
Okay. Well, let's talk. We've talked about Roth IRAs in the past. So Caleb, tell me the advantage or kind of the outline of what is a Roth IRA when we talk about that.
Yeah, hopefully most folks should be familiar with those, what we talked about. But, those, again, are made with after-tax dollars. They grow tax-free. Those earnings in there grow tax-free, and qualified withdrawals are tax-free when you get to that retirement age, and assuming you hit some of those requirements. They do have a 5-year rule and that same 59.5.
Okay.
As well, too. But with these, the counterpoint is there are no required minimum distributions for the account holder. Again, they're tax free if you've met all those rules. So there is no mechanism to force you to take money out and pay taxes on this money via RMDs like on your traditional IRAs.
You hear a lot about, okay, I need to diversify my assets, but you can also diversify your tax bill too. And utilizing these different accounts allows you kind of to do that too.
Yeah. This is regardless of what the investments you're actually putting in there, whether you're buying Apple or the S&P 500 or whatever.
Right.
This is the account structure. So that's what we talk about. Hey, before we get into any of that, what's the right structure that you need?